Mikheyev has a lower body injury, and it'll be week to week.
And what can you tell us about Brock and sort of the nature of how that happened?
Nobody knows how it happened, but he'll start skating with us in a couple days. Maybe even as close as tomorrow.
Is it more severe than you thought with Mikheyev?
No, it's just that's the timeline of the injury.
Okay, if those two injuries, Bruce, what opportunities does it open up, and are there challenges in terms of shuffling the lines?
Well, obviously, when you don't have two of your top six guys there, you're shuffling the lines a bit, but it's one great reason to have some depth. You know, injuries are going to happen. That's the nature of the beast. So, I mean, when one guy goes down, another guy's got to step up. If they're good enough, they'll make it tough on anybody that returns. That's the way I would look at it if I was a player. What a great opportunity.
When you say nobody knows what happened with Brock, like he skated on Saturday, did he not, in that group? Like,
yeah, and then his part of his body got sore, and he went out and he found out that he had to have surgery.
So you're as surprised as anybody that it...
We were watching, and we said, what happened there? And because he was shaking his hand. And so, I mean, well, we don't know what happened.
Bruce, do you have any idea what happened to Dermott? He seemed to leave the ice in some distress.
He looked like he got hit there, and he just feeling a little woozy. And, you know, we just said, okay, if you're feeling a little woozy, you just take the rest of the day off. We don't need anybody else getting hurt.
What about the opportunity here for some of your wingers? I mean, you've talked a lot about Hoaglander's improvement, his fitness scores, and Whistler, but here's a genuine opportunity for a guy who's kind of teased of his potential.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I would look at it if I were him. You know, I mean, for a lot of these guys that were sort of on the bubble of a top 6, top 9 forward is, here, I've got my chance now. I'm going to make the best of it. So, I mean, we'll see what everybody's made of.
Tyler Myers?
He's just sick. Like, I mean, not COVID sick, just not feeling well. So let's stay home and get better and see you tomorrow.
You sprung the skate on them here.
Well, I sprung a skate on him. They said that was tougher than the skate test, so I was glad of that. You know, so I mean, we don't do that often, but I wanted to see how they did a really good job. I mean, their fitness testing was beyond what I would have thought. I mean, this team in the summertime took it very serious, and they want to be a good team, and their fitness level was great. Everybody, nobody was a guy that you need to keep out here longer to get in shape. They were all great, and it showed in that test. So usually the fourth and fifth times you have one or two guys really dragging, and they were all staying up pretty well with each other and did a great job.
You've talked a lot about Garland's versatility, Bruce, and the fact he was out there today with JT and Pierce. What can you bring to that line if it has to stay intact?
Well, that's the line that's how they ended the season, and I thought they did really good at the end of the season. So I thought it was a pretty easy move. I mean, you know, when Best went down, he was down for quite a bit near the end of the year. So we experimented, and Connor and JT get along well. So it was a good mix, and so it seemed to me like to experiment. That would be the first way to start it.
Bruce, there's a gaming website that came out with a poll this morning ranking the most handsome coaches in the National Hockey League.
Oh my God, I don't want to be in that poll.
Hey, I got good news for you. You're 16th overall, and out of a ranking out of 10, you scored I think 8.0.
There must have been an awful lot of blind people doing that poll.
Care to bet who they rank as the most handsome and the most ugliest?
Well, no, I'm not going to say. I know who it is, but I'm not saying.
Well, you ranked Jay Woodcroft as the most handsome, and the ugliest was Peter Laviolette.
Oh, not who I thought. But
You did some PP work today, Bruce.
Yeah.
The PP one looked very familiar with Bo in the bumper spot, and there seemed to be a real urgency to let's get pucks back to Hughes, who seems to be finding more accuracy and velocity with his shots.
Yeah, he worked on his shot a lot this year, and I mean, we want to get them, getting back. Like, they were so good at the end of last year. The more we can practice, and you'll see us practice on this every day. I mean, in training camp there might be a flood and do it again. Like, tomorrow will be PK specific though, so you won't see the same guys in the power play. You'll see the guys that were killing penalties. like the JT Miller won't be on the power play. He'll be killing the penalty. Petey will be killing the penalty. So we'll make other guys on the power play. But we firmly believe that special teams in this day and age are the key to winning and losing. And if we have great special teams from the beginning, I think we'll do pretty good.
Bruce, you had said at that media availability last week that, this really wasn't for experimentation. You wanted to try to set some things, and obviously injuries happen and those types of things. But are these your two groups now moving forward, or will you bring some guys from the other group in?
Yeah, I mean, when there's games, this isn't the only group that's going to play. We're going to bring guys in every game, and you'll see them in the morning skate. They'll be practicing with this group, but I mean, we got 5 games left, and our goal is we got 8 practices, we feel, and that's maybe 8 hours of work before the season starts. When you boil it down to that, it doesn't seem like a long time. So we got to get ready and be ready to be going 90 miles an hour on day one. So that's what we're going to do.
Bruce Kuzmenko at the net front with your first power play unit. What do you like about how he projects to translate those?
Well, he certainly is great at making plays. He's got soft hands, and he can see the ice around him. I mean, there's going to be an adjustment period. Right now I think he handles the puck a little bit too much, but I mean, that's going to come once he sees the speed of the game catching up, because he's a smart hockey player. But this is where we saw him when we watched all the video on him in Russia, and he was very good at it. So we wanted to give him a real good shot at it as well.
Has the net front spot changed in terms of what you look for there? You think about Besser being sort of a non-traditional guy in that spot too, and also a pretty good passer. Is the playmaking element even more important in a 1-3-1 league?
You know what? I think it is in that. I mean, it depends on your personnel. When I was in Anaheim, I have Corey Perry. He's standing in front of the net no matter what. In Washington, we had nobody in front of the net. We just had 5 guys that can make great plays. So, I mean, you look at your personnel, and as long as they converge on the net when a shot is coming, that's where a lot of the pucks go in. So, I mean, if we outnumber people at the net when the shots are coming, then I think we'll have success.
Is there such a thing as a normal rate of injury when you start at camp? Is this unusual from your experience to 4 guys?
Well, I didn't foresee this when I'm thinking about our group in the summer. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you can't fight through a little adversity, then you're not going to win anyway. So, I mean, you look at last year, the lineups that we were using and still persevering, still winning. We got good players in the other group that had stepped right in and do a fine job. And so, I mean, I'm not worried about it. These things happen, and if you start worrying one player going down, then oh, woe is me. Then we're in trouble. So I think it's a great opportunity for the leaders to shine, the players to say, oh yeah, follow me, I'll show you, type thing.
Jack Rathbone seems to be processing the game a lot better than what we've seen. How much have you seen him grow? And obviously you're giving him.
I really don't know how much I've seen him grow, because I didn't see him last year. But I mean, he certainly can make a play. He can skate. I mean. He's a perfect guy for that second unit on the power play with OEL. So I mean, if he makes the team, I think it's a good look. We'll have some real good puck movers back there.